What on earth is this? So if you're not that big into coasters and not really into the coaster loop, then you may not know that Walibi Holland over in the Netherlands have been building 2 brand new single rail coasters. I'm just going to start off with saying the ride experiences for both of these look absolutely awesome. But I just want to put it out there, the name they chose for these rides are one of the worst, if not the worst name choices I've ever seen in a coaster. And the name is Yoy. Walibi Holland, can you please tell me what a Yoy is? But yeah, this video is essentially going to be naming the pros and cons to this name, why it's good and why it's bad, the positives and the negatives, because I think that's how it works. Not the ride experience. If you do want a video about that, I can make one closer to when the ride's going to open. Without further ado, there's actually quite a lot of things we can get from the logo itself. Not to take things into some GCSE English analysis here, but the name Yoy is obviously supposed to be mirrored since it's like dueling coaster, so it's like there's 2 sides to it, so it's like a mirror and stuff. But I think the reason they chose Yoy instead of other reversible words like Taco Cat, which I personally think would have been the best option, but it's like, okay, Walibi Romance. That's the wrong park. But yeah, Yoy works for multiple reasons, because it could be a take on the 2 words yay and joy. Because then it's like, oh, yay isn't reversible, but joy is a sensation that a ride brings you. So why not combine the 2 to make it a niche name? But now looking at the logo, it's very clear that it's trying to convey that the green side is the more thrilling side and the blue side is the less thrilling side, because that's the whole premise of the actual ride experience. The green side has more jagged letters and the blue side has more fluid letters. And then they merge in the middle in a kind of yin-yang style shape. And you know what this kind of reminds me of? Earth and water, as in like an elemental style theme. I would be very surprised if this isn't the theme they go for, because what else are they really going to do with a logo that resembles what I'm saying that much? I could see it having a kind of peaceful and tranquil ride area and like small elements of onboard theming, heavy terrain, trees, bushes, other types of foliage, waterfalls, little ponds. I mean, really we can't tell until we're actually given a proper teaser, but knowing the name and seeing the logo kind of gives us a good idea of what we're really going for. Another quite important thing that's been released with the name and the logo is the slogan. Just simply reading "Ride the Other Side" is a very basic dueling coaster slogan, but like it sounds cool at least. Or could we do some more analysis and maybe this could show that it's like the other side, as in you're escaping to nature. It's kind of just tranquil stuff. I'm really pulling this to a stretch here, but I will. On to the actual ride experience side of things. I know, like, literally a minute ago I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but why not? It's a video about the ride. Here shown is an image of the suspected layout, like what it's basically going to be. To be honest, I can't really pull any specific elements out of this, but we have seen a Top Gun stall, and there has been a high five element. Kind of reminds me of another dueling blue and green RMC. But to sum it up, Yoy will be a dueling RMC Raptor. That's basically it. The actual ride name and the logo and the specs for this ride were actually released at the IAPA Expo Europe, which was literally about 2 days ago as we're recording this. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially the place where all the ride manufacturers go to show off what they have to offer. But yeah, Rocky Mountain Construction are the people that are manufacturing this ride, or these rides, showed off this board showing off all the stats. It's going to have obviously the aforementioned family and thrill sides. Thrill side of which is going to have 6 inversions, which is going to be the most on a single rail and the most on an RMC ever. It's again going to have that Top Gun inversion. It's going to be Europe's tallest, fastest and steepest racing coaster, which doesn't really have much competition in Europe, but oh well. They are finally confirmed to be having a lift hill, which has apparently showed up on site, but I don't have an image for this, unfortunately. But basically, that's everything major you need to know about the coaster. I just don't really get the hate. I just think the ride experience obviously is going to be unparalleled in Europe, because it's going to be the longest, fastest, tallest single rail in Europe, as before mentioned, and I think in the world. But it's just the name is unique, and if you actually take time to think about it and do some research on why it might be like that, again, not really much research to do considering there's only been one teaser for the name, but in my opinion, it just works. And especially since it's in a ride with weird coaster names, weird themes, weird ride models. Take Lost Gravity, for example. That's a Mack Big Dipper coaster. It's got some of the weirdest elements I've ever seen. It's got some of the weirdest shaping I've ever seen. It's got the weirdest layout I've ever seen. It's got the weirdest theme I've ever seen. It's just a weird coaster. But again, I just feel like Walibi Holland is one of those more unique parks in Europe, and this ride just fits. Hate on me as much as you want, but if you actually break it down, the name really isn't as bad as you might think it is. Yeah, I get it sounds weird, like, hey bro, do you want to go ride your... Yeah, no, that's going to be weird to say. And yeah, that's not great considering actually saying the name when you're about to ride it and looking at the logo and being like, yoy, what the sigma is that, yoy? To sum up this video, Yoi isn't the worst name ever, but it's also not the best name ever by any means. Probably one of the worst coaster names ever, but it's pretty cool when you actually think about the context of it. Make sure to like, subscribe, or I would delete your coaster credit count. Hit the notification bell, because I upload quite a lot recently. Actually making videos for once, because I've got an influx of ideas, because so much has been happening recently. Yeah, ciao. Don't worry, buddy. I would never leave you out of a Pest Coaster video. What are your opinions on Yoi? Me too. Oh.